So version 1.2 is almost here, along with Blade and Kafka. Blade will be on the first banner and Kafka on the second one. For those of you who are pulling for Blade and are not interested in Kafka, as not a whole lot of players enjoy the DOT playstyle, I already made a video on pre-farming for Blade, so you can go and watch that one if you want to. To start things off, these are all the materials that you'll need to upgrade her traces. This new one in particular, you'll be able to farm them from the new weekly boss. Version 1.2 will be out on 19th of this month. So farm the regular stuffs this week, and for the next week, wait until Wednesday for that new boss to come out. As you can only farm them 3 times a week, don't be wasting it on the other 2 bosses, unless you want to wait until the next Monday. Now, whether you are someone who has been running a DOT team for a while, or in case you are someone who got interested in DOT all of a sudden for obvious reasons, the Nessun Dorma banner has everything you'll need to build a DOT-focused team. And also, Surfall is one of the boosted 4 stars. So if you don't manage to pull Kafka, Surfall will be really good, especially if you can get her to at least E4. But if you do manage to pull Kafka though, you really won't be needing Surfall anymore, because if the leaks are true, Kafka doesn't need to rely on Surfall anymore. And Luca and Sampo are going to be much better for a DOT-focused team. The main reason people were wanting to run Surfall with Kafka for was to extend the sock duration, but now that Kafka's talent can apply sock equivalent to that of her ultimate for 2 turns, you just need to make sure that your support deal damage with their basic attack to a single enemy, and it pretty much eliminates the need of running Surfall with Kafka. The only scenario where I think Surfall will be useful is when you are fighting more than 3 enemies, but even then, the trash mobs, they die way too fast. Now do keep in mind, these are not final yet. The 1.2 live stream only showed us what she can do, but not things like her Eidolon's light cone, damage multipliers on her abilities and such. Anyway, you're also gonna need a healer to make sure your mommy doesn't get knocked out. So this is what I think will be the best team for Kafka. Kafka with Sampo, Luca, and any of the 3 healers. Sampo will be extremely helpful, especially in case you don't get your Kafka to E1. Speaking of which, if you really enjoy the DOT playstyle, you should definitely get your Kafka to at least E1. And also Sampo's Windseer can affect multiple enemies at once and can stack up to 5 times. And Luca's Bleed DOT will work really well with both their ultimates. If you have Natasha though, I think you should 100% use her, especially while fighting the new boss, because of the HP drain debuff the new boss is capable of applying on your team, and Natasha's cleanse will be extremely useful there. And the lack of debuff removal will make Bailu pretty much useless in that fight. Now if you want to run Silverwolf with Kafka though, these are the 2 teams that I will recommend. Kafka with Sampo, Silverwolf, and Bailu, and then Kafka with Luca, Sampo, and Natasha or Bailu. Now, in case you're wondering, so what about Locha? Is he useless? Well, only if you are using Kafka with Silverwolf. The reason why is because you don't want 2 units who don't share element with the DOT units in the team. Locha is an imaginary unit, and Silverwolf is a quantum unit. Because Silverwolf's implanted elemental weakness is randomly chosen out of one of her allies' element type, of course as long as the enemy does not already have that weakness. If you implant quantum weakness, you wait until the next turn. Then if you implant imaginary weakness, then you have to wait again. Kinda beats the point of having a support Silverwolf if she is gonna be eating up skill points in each turn until she hits that 25% or 33% chance. I was also thinking of running her with Pela instead of Silverwolf, as both Kafka and Sampo skills are AoE. So Pela's ultimate with Pearls of Sweat at S5 can work really well. But against elites, Silverwolf will definitely be much better, as she can both thread the enemy's defense and also offers weakness type manipulation. Even better if you have her at E2. Next up will be relics farming. If you're someone who has been using a DOT team, you should already have some really good relics, but not a whole lot of players enjoy the DOT playstyle, so here are some of the basics. The 2 most desired offensive stats in the game that happen to be crit rate and crit damage, they don't apply to DOT. I'm sure most of you have been stacking those 2 stats on all of your gears to get more damage out of your DPS units, but Unfortunately, if you use them on a DOT unit, you're gonna lose out on a significant amount of DOT damage. Sure, it won't be completely useless as the impact damage multiplier will benefit from it slightly, but you should focus mostly on attack as that's the most important stat that determines the amount of DOT damage you deal to the enemies. Therefore, if your relics focus mainly on crits, then you need to farm for new ones. So which one you should be farming for? Well, the Band of Sizzling Thunder set will be the best choice for the extra lightning damage and also 20% bonus attack after using her skill. You can go with the Thief set as well if you want, but I think you should use it on your other DOT units instead. And the new Traversing Hackerspace, that one looks pretty good too, but as we don't know how much bonus speed it will provide, I cannot say for sure, but in case it can get her base speed from 100 to 120 or higher, then it will work extremely well with the Space Sealing Station, which is the only viable planetary ornament set for Kafka. And you can then go for the bonus attack percentage on her shoes instead of bonus speed. Therefore, the most important stats to focus on will be attack, then break effect, then effect hit rate, speed, crit damage, and HP and defense should be of least priority. For light cones, if you aren't pulling for the Kafka signature one, which if the leaks are to be true, is going to be a total disappointment. But we don't know that for sure yet. But some of the 4-star light cones in the game are extremely good. The Battle Pass exclusive one is the best option in my opinion. Then Good Night and Sleep Well, and then the one climax after another one. Sampo with his signature LC, and Pela or Luca with Pearls of Sweat. So be sure to level up those light cones if you have them already. Both Good Night and Sleep Well and Pearls of Sweat light cones, they are extremely good, and they are going to be, well, they're going to have a boosted drop rates on the Kafka LC banner. So this is your chance to try to get them to S5 if you haven't already. So hopefully that answered all your questions regarding how you should be pre-farming for Kafka and also what kind of team will be most viable for her. And in case I missed anything important or you want to know something else, just ask me in the comments. So that will be all. If you found this video helpful, then be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. I'm going to wish you all good luck on the upcoming banners, regardless of whoever it is that you are pulling for. Me personally, I might skip the Kafka banner as I'm more interested in Blade, and I don't think I'll enjoy the DOT playstyle, even though I really love Kafka's design and everything. Also, Dragonform Danhang, who's coming out in 1.3, I believe, looks extremely good. One thing I'll say though, please do your research, especially if you're free to play, before you pull for Kafka, as the DOT playstyle isn't for everyone, and you might end up regretting it months later. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next one. Stay awesome, you guys, and I'm out of here. Peace.
Playing the violin and firing a gun both require flexible fingers, but bullets are more obedient.